Good afternoon, fastball fans, and welcome to John Miller Field here at the world-famous Circle Top Bar and Grill, just on the outskirts of Denmark, Wisconsin. It's the 77th annual ISC World Tournament, and that's where we are. The Circle Top Bar and Grill. Blair Setford, Joe Todd on the ISC network. That is the refreshment tent out in right field. That's the patio along the first baseline. And we're going to bring you inside the broadcast trailer. There we are. That's our vantage point. And welcome, folks. Joe Todd, Hill United Chiefs, the Circle Top Dukes. A couple of different missions here for each of these teams. Circle Top, you got to keep on the roll. For Hill United, it's the reset button.
Yeah, they have to hit that reset button after that big loss last night. They have to. Hopefully they had a great batting practice and a good infield this morning. They need to reset and stay positive against the Circle Top Dukes. They've already played today. They're fresh off a victory. They're on a roll.
We will set the offensive lineup for the visiting Circle Top Dukes. It'll be Matt Palazzo to lead things off for Circle Top. He'll be followed by Luiger Pinto. Manuel Godoy bats third. Blair Ezekiel in the cleanup spot. Justin Laskowski hits fifth. Tyron Bartarillo back in the lineup, batting in the sixth spot for Circle Top. That's the one change. Tyler Johnson, 7. Dante Matakatir, 8. And Matt Harrow in the 9 spot. It will be Devin McCullough to start for the Circle Top Dukes. Defensively, for the Hill United Chiefs, left to right across the outfield, Scott Patterson, Brad Ezekiel, and Alan Pecker. Nick Shales, Shane Boland, Tony Gonzalez, and Jonathan Lynch around the horn on the infield. The starter again is Michael Holobradic, and behind the plate is Josh McGovern. That's the battery. Bruno Matroni is the designated player for the Chiefs. And Joe, no lineup changes for Jeff Ellsworth and John Hill, the coaching staff for Hill United. Two schools of thought on this. One, you shake up the lineup after that 14-1 game last night. Two, you put the responsibility on the guys that were in the lineup to change the score. Exactly,
and that's the philosophy that Jeff Ellsworth and John Hill has decided to come with. You dance. What's the line? You dance with the lady that brought you here.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's the one. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they recover, because Hill United has never been on the receiving end of a beatdown like that before. They've administered plenty of them, but this is a brand new experience for this team, and there's a lot of veteran guys in this lineup. There's some new faces too. I'm going to be really curious to see over the next hour and a half to 2 hours how they respond.
Stay tuned. We'll be right there.
Michael Holobradic finishes his warm-up tosses, and we are about to get ready to go on the ISC network. If you're just tuning in with us, if you've just got back from a half-hour lunch break, thanks for staying with us, as this is game 3 of 5 for us today on Friday, the penultimate day of the ISC World Tournament. Matt Palazzo steps into that left side batter's box at the back of it, and we're ready to go. First pitch, hard ground ball, but right at Matt Harrow. And that's a good sign for the Hill United Chiefs. One pitch, one out.
Michael Holobradic, 14 innings played so far, 4 starts, record of 2 wins, 1 loss, 24 strikeouts, and 7 walks.
Pinto steps in, and Joe, we thought maybe Luiger Pinto was cooling off a little bit until his second at bat against the Toronto Batman, or what is it, his third? I forgot. I think it might have been his third at bat against the Toronto Batman. Launched a solo bomb deep into the trees out in center field. That's his 4th home run of the tournament, 11 or 12 RBIs for Luiger Pinto. Having himself a week for the Circle Top Dukes. Had a notion to go after that one. That's a changeup down in the dirt from Michael Holobradic. I like the strategy by Matt Palazzo going after that first pitch, too. Even though it resulted in a ground out, you had to know that.
Cool.
That was interesting. He jumped out of the way, but that was almost a strike. You had to know that Holobratic was going to come in and want to get ahead early.
Yes.
And Palazzo jumped on that first pitch.
Little games they play. Game within a game.
Pinto takes a strike all the way. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tony Gonzalez is shaded well over towards the middle, Joe, and deep, too. Same with Shane Boland. He is almost heels on the grass. That one sails to the screen as Holobratic is going to do a little bit of landscaping. Didn't like the landing spot out near the bottom of the circle. Luigi Pinto aboard with the walk. Manuel Godoy comes up to the plate. Just off the outside corner, ball 1. Godoy and Brad Ezekiel have been 3-4 in the batting order for multiple years now for the Circle Top Dukes, and that's a good change-up. It gets away from Josh McGovern just momentarily, but Pinto not going anywhere.
Godoy 4 for 15 so far in the tournament. A little bit off his usual pace.
Yeah, he's usually a 400 hitter here at the ISC World Tournament. And when you're only batting in the 300 area, that's a downgrade for Manuel Godoy. One and 2. And that's punched out to left field, and Scott Patterson will come in on the run to make the grab.
Great read by Scott Patterson there if you watch it on the replay. Picked that ball right up off of the bat.
First baseman, number 21, Blair Ezekiel.
Blair Ezekiel to the plate now.
Blair just 2 for 11 so far in the tournament.
I was just thinking to myself that he's had a quiet World Tournament so far. It's been...
He has had 6 walks, though.
He's on base a lot,
yeah.
But Pinto has been carrying the bulk of the offense for the Dukes. Tyler Johnson, Dante Montecatier, Matt Harrell all got RBIs in that game against Toronto this morning. Tyler Johnson, no bigger hit than his big RBI triple. The Dukes were hitless into the 5th inning in that game and then erupted. Here's a little tapper to Ezekiel. Flip to first for the 3rd out of the inning. A walk, stranded. And that's it for the Dukes in the top of the 1st. We'll go to the home half. The Hill United Chiefs set to come to the plate.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
My name is Michael Holobratic. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miglievaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la Selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folker. I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life.
My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
To the bottom of the first we go, and the Hill United Chiefs set to come to the plate. We'll set the batting lineup for you. It'll be led off, as it almost always is, by Brad Ezekiel. Shane Boland in the 2 spot. Nick Shales 3. Bruno Matroni hits cleanup. Tony Gonzalez, Josh McGovern, Alan Pecker 5, 6, 7. Jonathan Lynch 8, and Scott Patterson trying to hide him, Joe, in 9th. He's having a pretty successful World Tournament so far. Defensively, for the Circle Top Dukes, Justin Laskowski, Tyler Johnson, Manuel Godoy, left to right across the outfield. And on the infield, Tyron Bartorillo, Dante Mudakachir, Matt Harrell, Blair Ezekiel, Devin McCullough back out on the board, threw about 100 pitches this morning in that 4-1 win over the Toronto Batmen. Luigi Pinto behind the plate for Devin McCullough.
McCullough with 23 innings of work so far, 4 starts, a record of 3-1, 3 wins, 1 loss, 41 strikeouts and 7 walks to this point.
Ezekiel fouls that one straight back to the screen. These guys, a lot of battles over the years, and teammates as well for a magical 2021 run to the World Championship. Just when you thought Devin McCullough was out of it that year, took a line drive off the shin, gutted it out through the losers bracket final, and came on to get the win in the championship game. Jason Hill, a big bases loaded double for the margin of victory back in 21 for the Chiefs.
Great bounce there by Luigi Pinto, jumping out of there. That release of Devin McCullough didn't come off smoothly.
Called strike 3, Bradley Ezekiel down on strikes.
Shortstop, number 91, Shane Boland.
Shane Boland now to the plate. That one upstairs to Boland from McGovern. Luciano, maybe we can get a shot of the arm patches on Shane Boland's right arm with the robot cam. There you see them there. The top one is for Ken Hill. The bottom one, PJM, is for Peter John Montour. Big Pete Steakhouse, named in honor of Pete Montour. That's chop foul down the left side.
Shane Boland 3 for 11 so far in the tournament. How did Hill United, I missed the game last night, Blair, how did Hill United hit in that game? Put the ball in play? No, not at all.
Other than Scott Patterson, who hit a home run, it was a very, very
quiet night.
Huemo Mata was dominant for the Niagara Stompers through 3.5. Martin Gonzalez came on as Mata, who of course had thrown, as everybody knows by now, 200 pitches in a 10-inning game the night before. Mata ran out of gas in the top of the 4th. He went walk, strikeout, walk, walk. Martin Gonzalez came on with 1 out and struck out the next 2 batters on 7 pitches. Retired the side in the bottom of the 5th, and that was it, Joe. It was other than that Patterson home run, an extraordinarily quiet night for Hill United.
Well, see if they can rebound this afternoon.
Nick Shales chases up and away for strike 1 to Devin McCullough. Shane Boland aboard on the walk. That is popped up, foul out of play. That'll drift over the right side. Oh, 2 on Nick Shales. Bruno Matroni awaits on deck. And that just misses on the inside corner. Devin McCullough is not convinced that he missed. Joe, our umpires for this afternoon?
At the home plate, David Lee. At first base is Brandon Bloom. And at third base is George LeMaitre.
McCullough didn't like the one he had. He'll return that to sender.
A little Elvis there, Bella.
We've seen, well, we've heard, we haven't seen Elvis, we've heard Elvis on loop here this week. All kinds of rock and roll on in the background. Well, Shane Boland has hurt us, Joe. He took 2 steps off the bag, saw the ricochet off the screen, and said, I've seen a whole bunch of other guys get thrown out at second on this play. I'm not going anywhere. The screen is very tight. It is a trampoline bounce on anything that's up off of that screen. Luigi Pinto, some gymnastics again to go track that one down. Shales fouls off another.
Good quick swing there by Nick Shales. Good turn of the wrist. Pitch was a little high out of the strike zone, but Nick did get a bat on it.
Well, and that's the book, such as it is, Joe, on Nick Shales. You go up and away with 2 strikes. They go down this time, and off the glove of Bartarillo, who has been out of the lineup, Joe, for 3 games. He was in the starting lineup in Game 1, came out midway through. We wondered if there was an injury. I'm not sure if that went off the glove or just past him. I missed it on that one.
Hit pretty hard. Good hard slap there by Shales.
So Bruno Matroni to the plate with a scoring opportunity for the Chiefs, the bottom of the first. This is lifted up to center. Johnson back to the track, hauls it in. Good throw. Boland quickly advances, and so does Nick Shales. 2 down, Tony Gonzalez to the plate.
Now looking at the stats, Blair, I really think it's time for the middle part of the order for this Hill United team to get swinging some bats. These 2 to 4 batters. The bottom part of the order has contributed.
Upstairs to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the lone representative from the Hill United Chiefs on the 2 all-tournament teams, all-world teams. Last year's ISC World Tournament in Moline, Illinois. Chopper in the infield, that's going to get through. Boland and Shales will both score standing up, and Tony Gonzalez, Joe Todd, must have heard you as he comes through with an RBI single.
Great punch there by Gonzalez to give the Hill United Chiefs that early lead.
They get 2 RBIs and 2-0 for Hill United. And Joe, so far, I'm liking the way that Hill United has responded here early against the Circle Top Dukes.
Very important to regroup, refocus, set your goals while you're here all week. Yes, you had a little bleep in the system, but recover.
Josh McGovern to the plate. Joe, we heard that Lang Harrow had made the journey up from down under. Lang Harrow, the coach of the Aussie Steelers, the presiding world champions, the WBSC World Cup champions. And we'll try to get Lang on as the Circle Tap Dukes dugout door emerges, and Jorge Segura will go down to pitch. They got to get somebody to protect him. They can't just have him out there on his own. Here comes Aleo Munoz, and a surprising omission from the lineup, Joe. I would have thought that maybe there were other guys that potentially would have come out of the lineup for the Dukes in place of Munoz to get Bartarillo back in. They ask, and no, McGovern did not go around. So 2 guys aboard for Alan Pecker.
Alan Pecker 3 for 9 so far in the tournament. Tough inning for Devin McCullough. 26 pitches already.
Well, and maybe that game against Toronto took more out of McCullough than we thought. It is warming up here in Denmark, Wisconsin. The sun is very bright. 23 Celsius. About mid-70s, I guess, in Fahrenheit. Upstairs from McCullough, and just not as crisp as he was this morning, Joe. Not quite finding the zone right now.
Yeah, he's got to find that strike zone. Got to get back on that same sheet with Luis Pinto. That'd be a good time to call time and go out and have a defensive conference. Have a chat with him. He's really spending out a lot of energy.
Three and one to Pecker. You don't want to give in here and just lay one in. You can't do that with Pecker. Fouls it off, and I think rather fortunate that he just fouled that pitch off. That was up a little bit, but that's something into Pecker's wheelhouse. Full count, 2 out, bottom of the first inning. The Chiefs have already plated 2. They've got 2 more aboard. And that sails over the head of Alan Pecker to the fence for ball 4. And I think a mound visit here is in the offing. I see Scott Standifer reaching for the gate and will make the long, slow walk out. I think either way, Joe, this may be Devin McCullough's last batter.
I highly suspect Scott Sandifer's trying to see how he's feeling and if he's got anything left in the tank.
Yeah, I didn't see him making a move. I suspect he would have made that right away. I think he went out there to partly talk to the infield, but also just to buy Devin McCullough some time. But if you don't get the out here,
You've got to make a move.
yeah, I think in that case, the best outcome you can hope for is that they only score one. McGovern not fleet of foot out at second base.
McCullough with 3 walks in this inning.
Jonathan Lynch, the 8th batter in the order, and fouls this one off. Lynch has been carrying the mail for the Chiefs. He and Scott Patterson, they're 2 best hitters.
6 for 10 in that 8-hole for Jonathan Lynch.
But doesn't he have a bushel of RBIs too?
Yes, he does. He's got about 8 or 9.
That's off his foot.
That'll leave a mark.
Yeah, that'll leave a mark. That almost got Evan Fisher, our young photographer, too. He went one way, John Hill went the other. John Hill, the first base coach for Hill United Chiefs. Oh, 2 on Jonathan Lynch. Devin McCullough really needs a strikeout or a ground ball here for confidence. McCullough, long look in, touch the Gorilla Gold rag. And this one is laced, but that's loop foul down the right side. That'll go off the fence over the bullpen. Blair Ezekiel will doctor that up, and Dante Modicatir even a little bit more. And now Pinto is going to head out for a mound visit, and David Lee right behind them to remind them of the one that they're allowed. This bottom of the first, Joe, is dragging on. What's McCullough up to in pitches?
36.
36. Now Jeff Ellsworth wants a word with David Lee.
He's probably asking him, is that their defensive out, or was that a consultation?
Oh, well, I suspect that would have been their one and only defensive conference that they're permitted. And this one is laced out to right field. Here's 1, here's 2. Rounding into third is Pecker. Jonathan Lynch adds to his RBI total with 2 more. And Hill United Chiefs take a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. They're not done yet. Jorge Segura is warmed up. He's got his hands on his hips, wondering when the call is going to come.
All of this happening with 2 out, too. Good clutch hit by Tony Gonzalez. And then another single by Jonathan Lynch driving in 2 more runs.
We might have thought that would have been it for Devin McCullough. They're going to keep trying to squeeze a little bit more out of him, but I think they're asking a little bit too much here. Scott Patterson has been, other than Jonathan Lynch, the best hitter for the Chiefs here. He's got a couple of big home runs. He was the only guy that brought his bat last night. Chase is upstairs.
Patterson with that big choke up on that grip. Likes to have full control of that bat.
Called strike 3. McCullough sits down Scott Patterson. But the Hill United Chiefs do some damage in the bottom of the first. They plate 4 big runs. We'll go to the top of the second. Chiefs well out in front.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Five, 6, 7 for the Circle Tap Dukes in the top of the second inning. Justin Laskowski, Teron Bartarillo, Tyler Johnson. Joe, I guess we got our answer. How are the Hill United Chiefs going to respond? They're going to bat through the order in the bottom of the first.
That's a great response to wake up. Get back on that positive side of the scoreboard.
Laskowski lifts this one up into short center. Brad Ezekiel will call off Shane Boland and make the catch on the run.
Third baseman, number 46, Tyron Bartarillo.
And you'd like your guys to take a couple of pitches here for you, Joe, if you're Devin McCullough, if indeed he does come out for the second inning.
But this is a huge inning for Circle Tap Dukes. When the other team puts 4 runs on the board, you want to slow the pace of the game down. You want to get some offense going. Have a big inning. Not going to say you're going to win an inning, but at least get some runners on. Make something happen. You don't want a 1-2-3 barbecue and sit down.
That one is going to be fouled out of play. We've seen so many high hoppers. The ground in and around home plate is very hard. They've got the clay packed down tight. The infield, by and large, Joe, I think we've seen one bad hop the whole week in all of the games that we've not only done from here but watched from up close. Two and one to Tyrone Bartarillo. And swings over the top of a good-looking drop from Michael Holobradek. And Joe, something else the Chiefs need here today, in my mind, is a real strong outing from Michael Holobradek. He needs to win this one on his own. They don't want or need to have to get into the bullpen. If you're a Circle Tap fan, of course you want to get into the bullpen and get Holobradek out of the game.
Well, he's the workhorse for this Hill United team. And he would love to get that victory today and then stay positive for his next game.
Bartarillo swings over the top. A good-looking drop ball from Holobradek, and they're working a lot more down today than they did yesterday, Joe, and I think that is to the benefit of Michael Holobradek. The drop, his best pitch. They didn't use it enough last night, I thought, in his couple of innings of work. When fouled straight back to the screen by Johnson. In for a strike, 0-2 on the center fielder for Circle Tap. Team USA player, had a breakout year last year at the ISC World Tournament, made the first team All-World and parlayed that into a USA selection and carried on this year where he left off. Called strike 3, the outside corner. Another good-looking inning from Michael Holla-Braddock and the Hill United Chiefs in the top of the second. We'll go to the bottom half and see if that good fortune continues. They'll be right back to the top of the shop, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning
4, 5, 6. Joe, you surprised that Devin McCullough back out here for the bottom of the second inning?
Extremely surprised.
Jorge
Threw
Segura,
40 pitches in that inning.
Yeah, Jorge Segura was warmed up and ready to go in the bottom of the first, and I know you want to go with your ace. Jorge Segura has pitched extremely well this year for the Dukes, and Devin McCullough's second game of the day. You know, this Hill United team has come loaded for bear in this game. And maybe just a different look might be what the doctor ordered. We'll see.
I would imagine he'll have a pretty short leash this inning.
Bradley Ezekiel reaches out, flies this one to deep left, out near the fence. Justin Laskowski pulls that in. It's a good play for an infielder playing left field. Reaches out, heels right close to the fence. Shane Boland walked and scored in the first. And that gets Boland on the foot. And he is going to very gingerly make his way down to first base. Looks like it gets him right on the top of the foot, Joe, on the back foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That hurts.
That's with those little bones in the top of the foot.
Yeah. Yeah. Drop a 5-pound weight on your foot to see how that feels.
Yeah.
It'd be about the same effect.
Third baseman, Nick Shales.
Nick Shales will step in. Hard single down the left side in his first trip. Look to go after that rise ball. chases that one from Devin McCullough. And again goes out after the rise ball off the outside corner.
I would imagine they'll stay high.
I think so. The one pitch they came inside on, he pulled it down the line, so well, they went way up and out. Two balls, two strikes. Modacatir to Harrow, but the return throw to Ezekiel is errant. They erase Boland.
Designated player, Bruno Matroni.
So Bruno Matroni will come to the plate. Bruno flied out to center. He's clearly, Joe, been battling an injury all season long, has barely spent any time behind the plate. Josh McGovern. And maybe that was the plan, that Josh was going to do the bulk of the catching, but Bruno, I think, has maybe caught 2 games all year that I can think of.
Yes. I think he's just tutoring McGovern along the way.
Line shot into the glove of Blair Ezekiel. That will be it for the Hill United Chiefs. A much better inning for Devin McCullough. Chiefs still out in front, 4-0. The Circle Top Dukes will be coming up in the top of the third. Stay with us on the ISC network. It'll be Dante Modacatir, Matt Harrow, and then back to the top of the shop for Matt Palazzo. Circle Top Dukes here in the top of the third. Joe, much better inning from Devin McCullough. Both of us a little surprised that he came out for the second after that rocky first. And Jorge Segura again up in the bullpen. Dante Modacatir aboard with a base hit. And he's quietly putting together a decent little tournament.
4 for 12 now after that single.
Matt Harrow, a long look down to Scott Standifer. Boy, he must have gone through a heck of a set of signs. Turns to square and fouls it off. Showed bunt, pulled it back, and whiffed on that offering from Holobradek. And chases down and away. Matt Harrow down on strikes.
Designated player, Matt Palazzo.
So back to the top of the shop for Matt Palazzo. Went after the first pitch that he saw and pulled it right into the glove of Tony Gonzalez. Big hole there, Joe, on the 3.5 side. Went upstairs and over on third base, and we've talked about this all season long. Nick Shales is, at this point, 15.5, 16 feet off the line at third. That one skips away from McGovern as he got about a 44.5 footer from Holobradek. Montecatier up to second. If you've been with us all week, you know that Matt Palazzo, who is a pull hitter without a doubt, has been putting it right in the 3.5 hole all week long. Jonathan Lynch is about 4 steps off of the line over at first base, but Palazzo's been pulling it into that 3.5 hole all week long. The reason Shales plays so far off the line is his reasoning is that how many base hits do we see that go in the 5.5 hole between short and third? If you take that away, the number of hits right down the baseline on third in particular are not that many.
Yeah, especially with the pull hitter at the plate.
But even with a righty up at the plate, he's still going to be 12 feet off the line.
Mm-hmm.
Just playing the percentages.
Well, I'm sure they look at spray charts and everything that's out there.
Downstairs from Holobradek for a ball. 3-1 now to Matt Palazzo. And that one is fouled right over the screen, Joe. One hop and over the screen into the patio, and right back it comes.
Yep.
Interesting. So from the dugout, the wristband makes an appearance here. So McGovern has a corresponding one on his arm, and the Aussies use this to great effect at the World Cup. And a line shot snared by Tony Gonzalez, the flip to first, and that is some stellar defense over there by the Hill United Chiefs second baseman. Watch this. This is a hard hit ball. Full extension off to his right, and then still able to throw out Matt Palazzo at first. Saved a run, too, because that's through. He scores easily, Montecatier does.
Yeah, from his knees, too. That ball's being thrown with his arm and his shoulder.
No, it's interesting, Joe. They went to the wristband with the runner on second base. Rather than changing up the signals, they just put the wristband on and went to the coding system. So the numbers correspond to location and pitch selection. And it'll change with every batter. Think of it this way. It's like encryption for your email. Luigi Pinto fouls this one off down the right side. Jonathan Lynch is going to give 110% as he does on every play. Chiefs will wait for that ball to come back in from the first row of the parking lot from an obliging fan. 1-2, 2 down. Ever dangerous Leacher Pinto at the plate. Upstairs. That kicks off of Josh McGovern. He looked everywhere for it except at his feet, which was where it was all along.
That's where you need a little help with from your infielders.
Finally, I heard somebody yell feet out there, but it took a 1.5 to 2 seconds of panic, I'm sure. And that's jerk foul on the left side. Gonzalez was in standing side by side with Holobradic for a quick word while they waited for that ball to come back over. And seeing all the pitches right now, Luigi Pinto from Michael Holobradic.
Good plate appearance by Pinto, staying tough with 2 strikes.
Modicateer with a leadoff single has come around to third. And this one is lifted up to short center. Bradley Ezekiel will range across to his left. He'll make the catch in front of Alan Pecker. And that will be that for Circle Tap in the top of the third. We'll go to the home half. The Chiefs out in front, 4-0.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Neidick on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019. And he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob! This business was opened in 1965. By my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost.
Tony Gonzalez to lead things off for the Hill United Chiefs. Bottom of the third inning. That one downstairs from Devin McCullough. The Chiefs out of Oswego, Ontario. Six Nations Reserve. Nearby Brantford in southwestern Ontario. Change up down and in from McCullough. He's not sure that it was down and in. Here's a called strike. 2-1. Gonzalez 2 RBIs back in the first inning.
That was a clutch 2-0. Single.
And there's a strike, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Dukes, it seems, are going to ride Devin McCullough as long and as far as they can. And that is skipped in. Ball 4 to Tony Gonzalez. He works a leadoff walk. Joe, what is your stat around leadoff walks?
Yes, they score 66% of the time. The 5th walk by Devin McCullough today. We're just in the 3rd inning. 60 pitches thrown so far. His counterpart, Michael Holbradek, just with 45.
Upstairs to Josh McGovern. His team piled up 33 runs, Joe, in their first 3 games.
Yeah, they kind of like that 11-0. They did it 3 times in a row.
They did indeed. 11-0, 11-0, 11-0. But it just seemed all of that good work was undone last night. Now they've recovered here very nicely so far this afternoon. If you're a Chiefs fan, you just got to hope it wasn't one and done in the first. Devin McCullough is a little befuddled right now about where the strike zone is.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
He feels he's thrown a couple of strikes here that he hasn't gotten credit for. There's the changeup. And again, Joe, I just don't think they're using that pitch enough. I mean, McGovern waved at that pitch. We only saw 3, 4 this morning.
Maybe. Yep.
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yep.
No more than that.
No. But especially with the quantity of pitches and the amount of work he has to do. You got to work that pitch into the cycle.
Called a strike on Alan Pecker.
Third strikeout for Holbradek there on McGovern. This is the part of the order that's been really good for Hill United all week. 7, 8, and 9.
Chases upstairs, Alan Pecker down on strikes. How many now for McCullough? 4?
4.
Lynch also with a pair of RBIs with a nice base hit in the first. And that'll get gobbled up by Matt Harrow out at second base. So McCullough shuts the door again in the bottom of the 3rd. Hill United maintaining that 4-0 lead as we'll go to top of the 4th. The Circle Tap Dukes will come back to the plate and look to get something going as they all are seeing Michael Holbradek for the 2nd time around. Manuel Godoy, Blair Ezekiel, Justin Laskowski, 3, 4, 5. And Joe, it's not urgent for the Dukes, but it's not urgent either.
Yeah, they got to start winning innings. Obviously he'll score, put those 4 runs on the board, and you got to start pecking away. You're not going to get 4 or 5 runs, in a big inning type of situation later on in the game.
Hard hit, Tony Gonzalez.
He fought that one. Rolled around.
Well, that was a roller, and I think he was waiting for it to come up. You can see he went down to his knees and then kind of flipped over backwards. I mean, he's laughing about it out there right now. I'm sure Shane Boland's giving it to him, but he made the play. They all count in the book. And first pitch swinging again, too, Joe. I mean, Michael Holobradic really hasn't had any adversity here.
Just 47 pitches so far. That's 48.
Well, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Holobradic and the Chiefs. A good, solid outing. He needs this for his confidence, and he needs for the starter to go a long way and maybe even a complete game today, not getting into the bullpen.
Yes. Want something good and clean. Want to maintain your control. You want to pick at the corners, though, still. The Circle Tap Dukes team is a strong team, so you got to maintain your focus.
Blair Ezekiel deep in the hole. Shane Boland had his feet go out from underneath him as he got onto the grass. Still tried the throw, but Blair Ezekiel beats that out handily. You can see his feet slide right there. Laskowski now to the plate. Hit it a long way his last trip, just not quite far enough. Bradley Ezekiel up near the fence. That one off the outside corner. Shales was in tight like he was expecting a bunt. I'm not sure why he would be in that tight. Upstairs to Laskowski. I don't see Scott Standerfer and the Dukes playing for one here in the fourth.
No, that doesn't make sense. You want to put 2 or 3 hits together. You'll bloop the bleep and the blast.
Well, this one is laced down the line into left field. That's going to get past Scott Patterson. Blair Ezekiel will be held up at third, and wisely so. We've seen a number of guys get thrown out at the plate. No reason to send Blair Ezekiel there with 1 out and try and make another out at the plate. Two runners in scoring position, and little adversity here for Michael Holobradic and the Hill United Chiefs. Tyrone Bardarillo to the plate.
First time Circle Tap's had 2 runners on base in the same inning today.
Tyrone, rather, not Tyrone.
Tyrone 2 for 8 so far in the tournament, including a strikeout back in the second inning.
Well, he's been absent from the lineup for a couple of days, and we speculated whether there was a little bit of a nagging injury or something.
Oh, this is Circle Tap's chance here.
Skips that one in for ball 2. Over the years, Bardarillo has really impressed me, Joe, just as a professional hitter. His approach, his ability to spray the ball to all fields, can hit for power, can hit the ball into a gap. off the glove of Shales. They're going to come home. Ezekiel slides in safely. And they get one back. Hard hit ball in and out of the glove of Nick Shales. He goes and gets it and tries to come home to get Ezekiel.
Center fielder, Tyler Johnson.
And Jeff Ellsworth pops out of the dugout. Slowing the game down for his pitcher and for his infielders, giving them a break.
Well, we've had the bloop and we had the blast. No, we've had the bleep and the bloop. Now we're looking for the blast.
Well, this is a guy that can do it. A little bit more of a gap hitter than he is a home run hitter, but everybody's got home run power these days.
Got caught looking at a third strike back in the second inning.
Joe,
going to be a little more aggressive here.
I don't see anybody up in the Hill bullpen. High hopper, first pitch, Shales. The only play he's got was to try and swipe behind him to get Bartarillo. Couldn't do it. Boy, that ball was up there so long when it came down it had ice on it.
Good hard hit ball.
You see him try to swipe. Trying to get Laskowski on the way by. Didn't miss him by much. What a heads-up play that is by Nick Shales.
Great. Well aware of the situation he was in with that runner at second base, and if the ball comes to me, my play is to cut down that lead runner.
Dante Mudakatier to the plate, hit the ball hard, his first trip for a single. And looks like a pitch in for a strike. Bases loaded, big situation here for the Dukes. For the Chiefs, too. Laskowski at third, Bartarillo at second, Johnson at first. Dante Mudakatier. To Shales, they come to the plate for one, and it's bobbled in and out of the hand on the transfer. So they cut down the lead runner, but will leave the bases loaded. And we're going to get a pinch hitter, Alejo Munoz. And some good bench management here, Joe, I think, by Scott Standifer, as Alejo Munoz has been making good contact the last couple of games that he's been in the lineup. And a nice guy to be able to call on to come off the bench.
It's good to have those reserves available for yourself to complement that lineup.
So 2 down, bases still loaded. And this one is lofted into left, but Patterson will come across and make the catch. Hit it hard, but hit it right at Scott Patterson. Hill United Chiefs escape from a bases loaded 1-out jam. They allow one. The Dukes draw a little bit closer. Now they've got to shut the door. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. 4-1 ball game.
Small town USA, the birthplace of the great sport of men's fast-pitch softball. Nowhere more so than Denmark, Wisconsin. Well, softball fans, it's back. The ISC World Tournament is coming back to Denmark and historic Circle Tap Park. August 12 to 19th of 2023. The best of the best in men's fast-pitch land in Wisconsin for 8 days of top-level softball action. Located just minutes from everything downtown Green Bay has to offer. Fans will be able to catch all the ISC action, both at the newly refinished fields in Denmark and at John Miller Field in world-famous Circle Tap Park, where you can enjoy the games along with great food and drink specials. Find ISC Fast Pitch or the 2023 World Tournament links on social media. Or visit iscfastpitch.com to find everything from schedules to info on accommodations. See you at the park.
Joe, seems like it's often the case You make a nice play defensively, you get to come up to the plate in the next inning, just as fate would have it. Scott Patterson. First pitch strike from Devin McCullough.
Patterson got caught looking at a third strike back in that long first inning.
McCullough misses downstairs. 2-1 now to the Chiefs left fielder. And this one is lifted up down the right side. That's going to be a long, long run for Manuel Godoy, but that's going to fall foul over near the fence. They weren't playing Scott Patterson to hit it that way. That was a real long run.
Flag moving a little bit in center field, but not much.
Yeah, there's just a hint of a breeze today. Certainly not like the last couple of days where that flag was standing straight out and snapping.
Patterson caught looking for the second time today to lead off the top of the fourth inning. Sorry, bottom of the fourth. Fifth strikeout for Devin. Give credit to Devin. He's regrouped since he had that tough first inning.
He has closed the door. Third time through now, Brad Ezekiel. That's pulled foul. And Ezekiel looks at that rise ball from Devin McCullough. It's up in the zone. And that's a chopper on the infield. Motakatier comes across and makes the throw on the run to get Brad Ezekiel.
Shortstop, Shane Boland.
So two down, Shane Boland. Off the glove of Motakatier, he's going to go track that down in short left. Valiant effort by the Dukes shortstop, but just can't come up with it.
Third baseman, Nick Shale.
Not sure even if they're going to get Shane Boland in any way, shape, or form there.
No.
So Shales to the plate with Boland aboard. And this one is lifted out to short right. Manuel Godoy will take 2 steps forward, settle under that for the third out of the inning. Chiefs strand 1 in the fourth through 4 complete. It is Hill United Chiefs 4, Circle Tap Dukes 1.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need lumberjack Lumberjack Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the top.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business. Joe, the Dukes are going to get their third look now at Michael Holobratic. And Matt Palazzo has gone first pitch swinging each time he's been up.
Well, they had scored the one lone run last inning. They had 4 consecutive singles in a row, but were only able to score 1 run. Some great defense by the Hill United team.
Two and one to Palazzo.
Holobratic had the shades on all day game, or am I missing something?
No,
there?
he's had them on all game.
Oh, wow. Guess the sun is right in there, directly in their eyes. Them and the left fielder. Shortstop.
Yeah, it's pretty high in the sky right now. It wouldn't be super bad, but if you're looking up for a high fly ball, you're definitely going to have to contend with it. Palazzo chases that one and down on strikes.
Catcher, the winger, Pinto.
Just the 4th strikeout for Holobratic.
He's got a nice mix of ground balls. Shales in particular has made a couple of nice plays over at third to help him out. Tony Gonzalez as well. This one is laced out to left, and Scott Patterson.
I don't think he moved.
I don't think he moved at all. I think all he did was he bent down, he flexed the knees to go down and go get it. Yeah.
That's good scouting.
That is good positioning indeed. 2 down, Manuel Godoy to the plate. Top of the 5th. Early, getting a little late for Circle Tap here. You'd want to make something happen. Get another run closer if you can. And he's saying that hit him. Manuel Godoy needs to do a little bit better job of selling it by trotting down to first. Don't let the umpire beat you there. And we're going to get our blue crew together. Joe, remind us on the blue crew.
At home plate is David Lee from Chesterfield, Missouri. First base is Brandon Bloom from Washington. And third base is George LeMaitre from Cambridge, Ontario.
David Lee explaining to Jeff Ellsworth off the arm. Do we have the replay on the pitch, Luciano? See it here again. Yep, just ricochets off the arm. They got it right.
First baseman, number 21, Blair Esical.
So Blair Esical. No time like the present, Joe, to collect a big base hit for Blair.
Just need a punch. Got to find a gap.
In for a strike. Tony Gonzalez will gather that up 2 steps from the bag and step on second base for the force. That's the end of the 5th. We'll go to the home half. Chiefs still with that 3-run lead.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to...
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Go to Matrone. First pitch strike from Devin McCullough as we move on into the 5th inning, Joe. And started out with a bang in the bottom of the 1st for the Hill United Chiefs, but kind of lulled to sleep by Devin McCullough ever since.
McCullough's just given up 1 hit in the past 3 innings. Gave up 3 back in that 1st inning.
Lifted way up in the air. Montecatier will give way to the left fielder, Laskowski. He hauls that in for the first out. You see Bruno at the plate, not happy that he didn't do more with that pitch. Tony Gonzalez, a pair of RBIs back in that 1st inning. And he walked leading off the 3rd and was stranded. Bit of a weak swing.
McCullough with 84 pitches. 5th inning.
That one is straight up the elevator shaft. McCullough made a motion towards it and got called up by Barterillo pretty quickly, and then ultimately it's Blair Ezekiel who makes the grab just on the first base side of the circle. Josh McGovern to the dish, and that was about a 39.5 footer from McCullough. Pinto go to the screen and go pick that one up. Josh McGovern can relate to that. He took a beating last night, Joe. Oh, Donnie Atkinson and I both thought he must have been hit half a dozen times at least. This one is knocked out to left for a solid single for the big catcher for the Chiefs.
right fielder, Alan Pecker.
Alan Pecker will step in the 7th spot for Hill United. Little surprised we don't have a runner coming out for Josh McGovern, but it's all going to be for naught as first pitch, one hop for Blair Ezekiel. He'll step on the bag on the way to the dugout. Through 5 complete, Hill United Chiefs 4, Circle Tap Dukes 1.
Number 19, Justin Laskowski.
Laskowski, Bartarillo, Johnson, Canada, New Zealand, and USA for the Circle Tap Dukes, the hometown Circle Tap Dukes here in Denmark, Wisconsin. Joe, you got up to the Denmark Fields Memorial Park. I literally have not been here all week. I can't get away from Circle Tap here. We're kind of tied to the broadcast desk. What was your impression? Is this one well hit, deep center field, off the screen, or off the scoreboard rather? He hit the top of the scoreboard. Unfortunate for Justin Laskowski that it wasn't 12 feet to the left or right, and it's a home run. Instead, it's a ringing double off the scoreboard right at the top of the E in Miller.
It played extremely well by Brad Ezekiel.
Number 65.
Pinch runner for Justin is Ryan Sinclair. So an opportunity here presents itself, Joe, for Circle Tap. Tyron Bartarillo to the dish. The wristband comes out of the pocket and onto the arm with a runner on second base. Bartarillo, first pitch. That's a fair ball. Here comes Ryan Sinclair. He'll score easy, and Bartarillo will trade places up to second base with a double and cut the deficit to 2.
Back-to-back hits there by Circle Tap. Top of the 6th inning.
Tyler Johnson will have the opportunity to close this gap even closer. Scott Standifer is going to make his way down to a meeting with David Lee at the plate. Bartarillo, who looks like he's very ginger here on that left leg, Joe, and I noticed that as he was running up to second, he was not going full speed.
Julian Fernandez now coming in to pinch run for Bartarillo.
And he's the number 3 pitcher, Joe, so
do what you can with what you got.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Matt Ratliff, the only other available legs on the bench, and you're probably going to save Matt Ratliff for a pinch hit appearance if he's needed. Matt Ratliff has been used rather sparingly here this week. Johnson had a notion to go about it, but didn't. And that is off the screen as it hops over the glove of McGovern, and easily up to third base goes Julian Fernandez. So nobody out. And Joe, you can tag and score on a fly ball. Packer has a hose out and right. Bradley Ezekiel still throws very well in center field. And Scott Patterson can throw you out from left too. So it's going to have to be deep. And that one was fouled off by Johnson, who obligingly picks up the ball for McGovern.
It's a key battle right here, right in this game right now.
Well, it was Tyler Johnson who helped propel the Dukes to that big win this morning over the Toronto Batmen. Skipped in from Holla-Braddock. These two teams, Joe, met in the final of the Tavistock tournament, the Cephas Roth Memorial, earlier this summer in mid-July. Hill United coming out on top. Michael Holla-Braddock named the most valuable player of the tournament for the Chiefs. They also met at the Gremlins Invitational in Elkland. And that's a hard hit ball through the 3.5 hole. Johnson will make a big turn and then retreat back to first with a clap of the hands. And 4-3 ball game now, Joe, and the Dukes creeping ever closer.
Big clutch single there by Tyler Johnson to drive in Fernandez from third base.
Well, he's making a bid here to return to the all-world team, and I still don't see anybody down the line in the Hill bullpen, but okay, they're pitching off the on the outside of the fence. Jordan Graham is pitching kind of undercover from the in behind the Hill United tent. I don't know if we can get a shot of that, Luciano, over the fence and into the Hill United tent. Dante Mudakatir, and he fouls this back. That's a good hard cut, Joe.
He's had two hard, nice single, and got on with a fielder's choice. He had a hard shot back to Nick Shales last time.
Johnson going to tie up the shoes. You don't want to blow a tire. There was Jordan Graham over warming up outside the field. You got to think this is Holla-Braddock's game, Joe, at least until it's tied.
Yes.
Mudakatir shows bunt. Interesting, Lynch went to first. Shales was charging. Tony Gonzalez still shaded up the middle. There's a big hole over there between first and second. Mudakatir swings through.
Holla-Braddock with 81 pitches to this point.
Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chiefs infield definitely shaded up the middle. Bradley Ezekiel is in center field. Patterson, pretty much regulation depth out and left. And a changeup. Mudakatir way out in front, down to one knee. Good time for that. Good call by Josh McGovern.
Huge strikeout right there. Just the 5th strikeout for Holla-Braddock.
9-batter Matt Harrow will look to extend this 6th inning. The Dukes have scored 2. They've closed the gap to 4-3. And that's out of play. Nick Shales, who's got a book on just about every batter, is in closer than he would normally be. Harrow can slap, and here it is here. He puts the bunt down, trying to bunt for a base hit, but he got it right to Holobradek. They do get the runner up to second base, and that's a productive out, Joe, I think, from the 9 batter. At least he moved the runner.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of bunting with 1 out there, but if you can get the runner into scoring position, the tying run for Matt Palazzo, I'm okay with it right there.
Yeah. Now we just need Palazzo to get his first hit of the game.
I was just about to say 0 for 3 with a pair of groundouts to Gonzalez and a rare strikeout. They go back to the wristband. Palazzo, again, first pitch swinging, fouls that one off. Johnson can fly, even if it's hard hit right at one of the outfielders. He can score, but do you dare run on Pecker or Ezekiel?
No.
Called a strike.
Not with Pino on deck.
So 0-2 on Matt Palazzo. Advantage to Michael Holobradek. Consults the wristband. Just off the outside corner. That's a courageous take with 2 strikes. Well off the corner. Palazzo's deep in the box, but you watch where his stride is. It takes him towards the plate, and that is a foul ball.
Good bounce out by McGovern, though.
If you sell that, you might get that call.
Yeah.
But clearly he was behind the plate. The Chiefs were ranked 3, the Dukes 5. This is a great matchup. Poked foul down the left side, and that's a good spoil by Matt Palazzo just to poke that foul.
This will be a great battle here between Holobradek and Palazzo.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Holobradek gets the sign, consults the wristband, and waves over the top of it. Palazzo down on strikes. A little off-speed drop ball on the outside corner. Michael Holobradek bends but doesn't break. Gives up 2, but the Chiefs remain in front. 4-3.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports. Focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product, Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca to put your game over the top.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
First baseman Jonathan Lynch will lead things off for the Hill United Chiefs. Tries to put down a bunt, and wouldn't that take everybody by surprise?
Hill United Chiefs would love to add some insurance runs here. Circle tap. Dukes have scored 3 runs in the last 3 innings, so got back into this game. Hill, you're looking for some insurance. So we head off into the 7th inning. This is the bottom of the 6th here. The bottom part of the order has been contributing all week for Hill United.
Little chopper on the infield. McCullough will come to get it, and safe at first as McCullough got a little bit of altitude on that underhand toss. And Blair Ezekiel had to wait for that to come into the glove.
Good wheels by Lynch, though.
He runs very well. And Joe, those are the little things that can make a difference. Scott Patterson, a long look down to Jeff Ellsworth in the third base coach's box. Patterson turns and squares and lets a low drop ball go by.
Patterson has been caught looking at a third strike. Once in the first inning and once in the 4th inning. Got to stay real aggressive this time.
Ball 2, advantage to Scott Patterson. And there's a called strike on the inside corner. Out to left field and into the trees it goes. Scott Patterson, a 2-run home run. And Joe, some breathing room for the Hill United Chiefs as the left fielder comes through again.
Just a big clutch hit coming off the bat of Scott Patterson. All with
up in the zone, and he yanks this down the line. Just fair. And into the trees.
Well, they looking for some insurance, and they got her.
Top of the shop now, Bradley Ezekiel. And that's up and in to the Chiefs center fielder. Just misses off the outside corner. And ball 4, Brad Ezekiel takes the walk. That will be it for Devin McCullough as Scott Standifer comes and gets the ball, and a round of applause for the Chiefs right-hander as he exits stage right. We'll take a break as Jorge Segura take his warm-up pitches. Stay with us on the ISC Network. So Bradley Ezekiel aboard on the walk. Shane Boland will be the first batter to face Jorge Segura. He's in for a strike. Be a completely different look from Devin McCullough to Jorge Segura. Big, tall right-hander from Guatemala City. Drop ball specialist. Gets a lot of ground balls.
Pitching line for Devin McCullough, 5 innings, 6 runs, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, 1 hit batsman, 101 pitches.
Well, 200 pitches on the afternoon, or the day at least, as he went the morning game against Toronto, was right around 100 pitches in that one. Still responsible for Bradley Ezekiel out at first base. Can't quite close the door. Ezekiel fouls that one off. Luigi Pinto jumped in the air. Shane Boland jumped in the air. Two balls, 2 strikes. Joe, you go back to that home run by Scott Patterson. Jonathan Lynch aboard, hustling all the way out of the box and able to leg out that infield single.
So key.
Just that extra little bit of insurance. Instead of a 2-run lead, it's 3 for the Chiefs, and they'll go into the top of the 7th with at least a 3-run lead, and maybe more as Segura walks Shane Boland and Nick Shales to the plate. No time like the present for Nick Shales to add some more insurance.
Well, we'll see how he challenges up or matches up against with Segura's drop ball. Great drop there by Segura. We'll see if he stays with that drop or he likes to go high and upside. That's one of Shale's weaknesses. Just missing off the edge of the plate.
But is it really a weakness? I go back to that gold medal game, and Team Canada tried to go there in the 5th or 6th inning, and Shales hit it out of the park the opposite way. So
yeah, you do catch up with it.
You know that if that's out there,
yeah,
you know that Nick is aware of it.
Oh yeah, must work at it, I'm sure.
Chase is down and away, and he's retired. First out of the inning.
Designated player, Bruno Latroni.
Matroni with a bit of a shake of the head. Swing and a miss, comes up empty. Do you think Tony Gonzalez could get any closer? We know we remarked on this the other night, too, Joe. He's practically in the box with Bruno. And a called strike on the outside corner. That's probably the safest place to actually be, given the way that some guys can turn on the ball.
Unless they pop it between their legs there. He should be all right.
Catcher interference, I think.
Yes.
As Matroni was motioning right back at Luigi Pinto, and no argument. So we're going to get called out for some signals, and the umpire is going to listen in, as he's required to do on these mound visits for signals. Peter Cavanaugh on to run for the Chiefs for Bruno Matroni. We've got the bases loaded here again.
Second baseman, Tony Gonzalez.
Bradley Ezekiel is out at third. Shane Bolin at second. Now Peter Cavanaugh at first. Tony Gonzalez at the plate. Big hit back in the first inning. Couple of RBIs there. And this one in for a strike. Misses downstairs. Two and one. A couple of the umpires in the crowd are voicing their opinion. And that one's fouled off at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And they're going to check on that, and yes, he did, says our first base umpire, Brandon Bloom, and I think I'd have to agree, Joe.
Yes, oh yes.
Ball 1 to McGovern.
Eighth batter this inning for Hill. The 5th for Segura.
One ball, 1 strike to Josh McGovern. That one misses downstairs. And 3-1. No place to put him, Joe. You gotta
come right down.
You gotta come in to McGovern. You don't want to just put it middle, but Maybe middle in. A late call, but a called strike nonetheless. Full count. 2 out. Runners will be on the move. Hill United Chiefs looking to add to this 6-3 lead. Circle Tap Dukes need to get an out here. Called strike 3. McGovern. Oh, look back. Bradley Ezekiel is going to come in and have his say. And then he'll be followed by Peter Cavanaugh as well, and Jeff Ellsworth for good measure.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Nidick on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019. And he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob! For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Joe Luiger Pinto, Manuel Godoy, Blair Ezekiel. Last call at the bar for Circle Tap, chasing now 3 big runs as Hill United plate a pair on the home run by Scott Patterson.
Pinto batting .500 this term and 9 for 18 so far.
That's foul on the left side. And that rolls up and over the shoulder of Manuel Godoy.
Come back.
He's going to move a little bit closer to the Tony Gonzalez on deck circle. Swing and a miss. Pinto down on strikes, and that is a big key out for Michael Holobratic and the Chiefs.
That first out in the last inning is always crucial.
This one is up. Shane Boland calling for it over on the third base side, just at the edge of the grass. And Joe, that quick, Circle Tap Dukes are down to their final out. Blair Ezekiel.
Blair 1 for 3 so far. Had a single back in the 4th inning and scored.
Inside to Blair Ezekiel. Joe, we'll have a bit of a break in between games as scheduled for a 5 o'clock start, but come back at 4:45. It'll be the New York Gremlins and JB. Can't wait to see that one.
A dandy.
In for a strike to Ezekiel and a full count. Blair Ezekiel needs to reach base to keep the Dukes season alive. Deep breath from Holobratic. Swing and a miss. That'll be the ball game. Hill United Chiefs, a character-building 6-3 win over the Circle Tap Dukes. The first inning, Joe, told the tale. The Chiefs pushing 4 across. They pick up a couple of extra insurance runs, but they won that game in the bottom of the first.
It's good to get that early jump, and they pounced on them right away. Picked up them 4 runs on those 3 hits, and they came away with that victory today.
Circle Tap Dukes will finish in a tie for 5th. They'll move to the sidelines. We're going to move to the sidelines for the better part of an hour. Come back with us around 4:45, the New York Gremlins and JB. That's going to be a good one. And then we'll bring you the winner's bracket final. Bear Creek Express and Niagara Stompers. 2 more to go on the ISC network. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. We'll see you shortly. Blair Sedford, Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Dureste. Happy anniversary to those 2. We'll see you soon. For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com.